Hello everybody, welcome back to MDRX Rivalry. Today we are going to be discussing the 20-inch 223 forward ejecting rifle. As with other 20-inch versions of the MDRX, this version of the rifle is perfect for those who want that additional performance of the longer barrel without giving up the features that the MDRX is so famous for. This conversion kit uses a 1-in-8 twist 20-inch barrel chambered in 223 Wildy. And this 20-inch barrel can be swapped out with the 16-inch forward ejecting barrel with just nothing more than the barrel swap itself. Just as we've done in other videos past, today our first topic is going to be accuracy. Most MDRX rifles will shoot 3-shot groups averaging around 1 to 1.5 MOA. During our rivalry test, we actually shot 5-shot groups to get a slightly better picture of each rifle's accuracy potential. For this test, we shot the same federal gold medal 69 grain ammunition that we used in all the other 223 rifles tested during this series. At 100 yards, this rifle produced a 5-shot group of 1.1 MOA, so slightly on the smaller end of that accuracy spread. Surprisingly, the other types of ammunition we used during the filming of this series, the American Eagle and the PMC 55 grain ammunitions, actually produced groups that were quite similar to the match load. Those groups averaged between 1.2 and 1.4 MOA, so not a lot of difference there. This level of accuracy is perfectly suitable for a varmint hunting rifle or other purposes that are typically done with a 223 caliber rifle. I will note also that using quality varmint ammunition also produced great accuracy results. The 8-twist barrel in this rifle also will allow you to shoot some of the larger ammunition types, such as 75 and 77 grain ammunition, for better performance downrange. The mild recoil of the 223 cartridge makes the rifle very pleasant and easy to shoot. This comes in very handy for our next rivalry comparison, which is maneuverability. To test the maneuverability of each MDRX configuration, we shot the rifles through a timed course of fire that involved lots of shooting and moving. Rifles scored better in our test by finishing the course of fire in a shorter amount of time. It came as no surprise that the shorter versions of the MDRX were able to finish that course of fire faster, as well as the smaller caliber versions of the 20-inch rifles were better at finishing this course of fire faster than the larger caliber 20-inch rifles. The forward ejecting 20-inch 223 MDRX was able to finish our course of fire in 14 seconds. The extra length of barrel on this rifle didn't necessarily help in maneuverability. However, it does come in very handy for our next comparison, which is downrange performance. For our downrange performance test, we used TraceAll to calculate the energy and velocity of each rifle at 500 yards. For this, again, we obviously used the same ammunition used in the other 223 caliber rifles, the 69 grain federal gold medal ammunition, and at 500 yards, this combination was producing 1,578 feet per second and 381 pounds of energy. Those numbers are obviously smaller than the numbers you would see from the 308 and 6.5 Creedmoor versions of the rifle, but they do come with a modest cost and recoil. That said, it is still a great option for medium range shooting as well as hunting smaller animals. If longer distances are in your shooting future, you may want to try one of the other calibers like the 308 or 6.5 Creedmoor. Despite being longer than other versions of the MDRX, this one is still well balanced and easily manipulated with a single hand. And the forward ejecting system allows the user to shoot the rifle weak-sided or completely ambidextrous with no issues. The last comparison we have for this rifle is controllability. To compare the controllability of the different MDRX configurations, we fired all rifles at a 50-yard steel target with a timed 5-shot group. The more controllable rifles were able to maintain on their point of aim and therefore produce smaller groups on the steel target. In our test, this rifle was able to produce a group of 10.5 inches, slightly better than the side eject version of the rifle. The 20-inch 223 forward ejecting rifle is a joy to shoot. It brings extra power and velocity to the 223 MDRX without giving up some of its best features like the forward eject and complete ambidextrous operation. I keep on saying it in these videos, but this is probably one of my favorite configurations of the MDRX. Hammering targets at longer ranges and hunting varmints with this rifle are its strong points for me. These activities require the use of a good rifle scope. In a lot of these videos, you have probably seen my favorite scope on this rifle, a 3-17, but there are plenty of other good scopes that you can use. In my opinion, anything from a 3-12 like this one and up are probably a good selection for the rifle. Obviously, if you're not planning on shooting anything that's out there a ways, then you could probably use something much smaller like a 1-10 or perhaps even a red dot or iron sights if that fits your needs. Shooting suppressed is always my first choice. During the testing of this rifle, we used the same suppressors that we used on all the other 5.56 rifles. My favorite is probably the YHM Turbo or the Turbo K. We use both. That said, any good 5.56 suppressor will probably serve you well on this rifle. Other accessories I would recommend for this rifle are definitely the Mantis handguard. This is probably my favorite accessory for this rifle. It gives you a built-in bipod right into the handguard, and it's all aluminum and carbon fiber, so it adds a lot of strength to the system as well. And for sure, I would get a good sling to carry this thing around. I've said it before, this is probably one of my favorite MDRX configurations. Let us know what your favorite conversion kit or MDRX configuration is in the comments below. Thanks for watching our video, guys. Be sure to tune in next time to see some exciting news on the next MDRX Rivalry video. We'll see you then.